that brings us out to the top here, and this is the arches and the area that we took a look at in the last episode. But what we're going to be doing today is doing a bit of detailing on here, and it's going to take me quite a while, I think, to work out what I'm going to do. I think what I have in mind is to do perhaps a couple of arches, sort of circular arches. What I might do is start them around about where the first bronze tile starts there, and on all four, and I might make them out of that metallic metal block that we've had a look at previously. Might make them out of that, just to sort of darken things up and give a little bit of depth. And what I'm going to be doing is starting those at the second level here, so they'll be starting from here and going upwards from here. Right, so what we'll do is work out how we're going to do that, and I'll get back to you in a minute when we worked out exactly what we're going to do. See you in a second. Alright, so after a quick little test, taking an initial look at what I might do with the main arch, what I did is I put a smaller sort of circular arch underneath on the left hand side there, and on the right hand side started doing just a layer back, which is where the little circle is as well, but sort of adding a black accent to the larger arch. And I think it looks better on the right hand side at this stage, just with that accent towards the back. So I think what we might do is just scrap that little half circle that I was planning on doing there. If you look at pictures of sort of Gothic architecture, that's a bit of a hallmark of those sorts of buildings, however. So I think just purely because of the limitations that we have with not being able to do circles and that sort of thing, it's making it so I can't do those to the degree that I'd actually like to do so that they look good. So we might have to try and work something else out, and look, I'll try things along the way and we'll see how it goes. But I mean, it still looks pretty damn good, whether it's again, you know, as I was saying earlier, whether it actually looks Gothic or not, you know, at this stage I probably really don't care. It's just a pretty cool large building at this stage, and I don't mind that. Alright, well, we'll get back into it and I'll see you in a bit. Now, the next thing that we've done, I had a bit of an idea overnight on how to give a little bit of depth and make things a little more interesting with the spaces here. And what I've decided is that I'm going to do some windows up here and place them at the front. And you might recall I was thinking about adding a little bit of depth with a black metal block to this here, which will sort of run off here, probably starting from right there and going upwards, which I've got to give a little bit more thought to and work out how I'm going to do it. But I'm thinking it'll probably go somewhere around about there, and that'll give us sort of a few different layers: an outer layer of the windows here, the inner layer of that gold massive arch, and then the windows at the very front prominent. So what I'll do is I'll just go offline now and quickly take a look at putting together the beginning of those windows, and I've probably got it in mind that I'll do it around about to the bottom of the first arch there, and then we'll add another set of windows possibly on top of that. And then, as I mentioned previously, we're going to have to do a hell of a lot more. We've probably got another 2 layers to do on top of this, which I'll make further in, and that'll really accentuate that sort of Gothic look that I'm going for. Alright, we'll see you in a second. Alright, so what I've done now is filled in the windows on the front on one side, looking out towards the mountain. And what I did is I added that bronze block to the top of them just to sort of highlight and play off the front of the facade of the spire there, which has the bronze block on it. And you'll notice here as well, what I've also done is added a black layering at the back. So if we pop just down here to have a look at it, I think it looks pretty damn good. There you have it. I think it's going to look a lot better once I sort of finalize all 4 sides and get the top part done. I think I might add just some smaller windows that go in, but I'm not actually going to block off the black second layer of the central spire there. I think I'll leave everything in front. I may even recess the windows back further. I'll have a bit of a play with it. But basically what I did is I just repurposed all of these wooden windows that we used previously downstairs in the Great Hall. I'm not really short on resources or anything because I do a lot of farming in this, but I could use, if I really wanted to, the steel windows that I've used on the rest of the build. But I think having, you know, sort of sat back here a few times with the wooden windows and taken a look at them from a distance, I think the detailing of those brass windows will sort of be a little bit lost when they're layered on top of each other, and put sort of, you know, 6 in one, 9 in one, 6 in the other, like I've done on the front so far. So I think it's perfectly fine the way it is. I'm pretty sure I'll leave just those wooden windows in place. But I have to say it's looking pretty damn good so far. Right, so what I might do now is go offline and I'll have a bit more of a mess around with some detailing, perhaps adding in another layer. One idea that I do have so far that I might have a bit of a mess around with is adding in a bronze layer just above my head there, in between that gap. It may be a little bit too much bronze, or I might just add some of that black into it. I'll have a bit of a play with it and see what looks good and get back to you. But that's pretty much it in terms of updates thus far. So what I'll do now is I'll go offline, have a bit of a tinker around with this, and we'll get back to you once I've put these base 3 windows on all 4 sides, and then we'll take a look at doing a little bit of tinkering. We'll see you in a bit. Alright, we are complete, and man, I'm loving it. It looks so cool. I'm starting to actually be able to see what I had in my mind's eye from the beginning take shape, which is very, very cool. I think those windows look just fantastic. A lot is going to depend on how I set up the second layer and what I do, but as I did with that first layer, I'll tweak it and have a bit of a look and see what different things look like before I put anything in place. But it's been fantastic to actually be able to start to take a look at how it looks as a final product. It's starting to actually take some shape now, which is very, very cool. Alright, well, I think that's going to be it for us for this episode. It's been a very, very big one. There's a lot more to do. I think we're going to go away now and just take a bit more of a look at how we're going to set up this next space up the top. Alright, well, once again, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on Glitch Gaming.